Okay, so this is just a quick run through to show what my honours project was. So basically I'm demoing this without the use of Connect or the emotive epoch. So I'll be using simulated input for those. First of all, a participant who would have been participating in this experiment would have had to be presented with this initially, and the idea is that they want to wait until they get some sort of instruction to either concentrate or relax. So first of all, they have to relax, and so if I increase the relaxation toward the peak, I am then able to gradually make it move until we're fully relaxed. Then we can concentrate. So as it goes and moves up, slowly just moving it up. Then we'd be presented with some story, so just something to tie the pieces together. You've been surveying a tomb that has been believed to have not been raided somewhere in the Middle East. You've come across a series of seemingly random images that appear to be movable tiles. Perhaps there's something more to it than initially can be seen. So there's some instructions that tell the user that they can use some different voice commands if they want to be able to interact using the Connect. And so what we have here is that initially all of the tiles have just images that are randomly there, but then as they concentrate, they can see what's there, or relax rather, sorry. So I can select a tile, and then I can rotate it. And so normally you would be doing this with voice commands, and then I'd be able to say like drop tile and it would drop it. So normally the idea is that as you try to concentrate on what you're supposed to be doing,
you already have a tile selected.
You can then work out what you're supposed to do and make the tiles appear. Then as you begin to try and make the commands happen, you'll be concentrating on that and they'll begin to fade out again, which makes it harder to know what you're supposed to do essentially. So this one goes up here. This one would go down here. Then over here. And down there. And we're nearly done with setting it all up. And so then the final piece is placed.
Puzzle complete.
And the puzzle is complete. So normally it wouldn't be fully revealed as the user's concentration and relaxation levels change and fluctuate. The idea is that the user would want to reveal the puzzle by relaxing, and then as they begin to make the changes, there's some level of concentration that then offsets that relaxation. So I have to create a balance to be able to complete the puzzle. Alright, so for the next part of the story, we've successfully opened the hidden chamber in the tomb that we were surveying, only to find it empty. Shadowy individual who was seen disappearing from the site. We've decided to follow them, and we have to do it without arousing suspicion. So we're going to have a game where you would have to move side to side physically to be able to sort of move your hips based on the Connect. And so that would allow you to change lanes, and then we could stop our character by raising hands above the head, Obviously can't do that because I'm not connected to a Connect at the moment for this example. But essentially we need to follow, and so the speed of following is based on our relaxation and concentration levels. So you can see as I go higher, I will speed up, and that blue individual ahead of us, they're the one we're supposed to be following. So we don't want to get too close, so we'll arouse suspicion. If we collide with anything, it will break stuff or make the other people angry, essentially. And so they will periodically stop, which is where we need to be able to say we want to make an immediate stop. So we need to speed up again. So we build up speed as we keep our levels. So we have fallen way behind. Normally it's easier to be able to keep track of them, but essentially the thief would have just run off to the side when they reached the point. We were a little bit far behind, so we didn't actually see that. But essentially we've followed the thief successfully. You do fail this task if you get too close to the thief for too long. So it's important to keep your distance, and that again would be controlled by using a combination of relaxation and concentration to be able to speed up and slow down. And so you could then, if you needed to immediately stop, you could raise your hands with the Connect. So if we just go to the next puzzle. So now that we've successfully followed the thief to their hideout, they now have spotted you and thrown all the treasure they have been hoarding into the river in an attempt to escape. And so we have to save as much of the treasure that's now floating down the river amongst the junk, and we have to think carefully and quickly about which pieces to pull, as we'll only have limited time. So for this one, we have to be able to use our hands with the Connect to be able to select the pieces, and the relaxation and concentration for this puzzle was being able to slow down the river so you could capture more pieces more easily. And we don't want to capture any of the junk, obviously, so there'll be trash bags and I think tires, which are junk. So we want to collect some of the pieces. So basically we just want to collect as much as possible. And so at the moment the river is moving at full pace. So if I were to slow it down, the levels of the river are going to change. You can see the bar at the top is representing the state of speed. So we've gone to a point where we're making it go too fast for us now. So we're going to miss out on some of the treasure. You can see if you keep ourselves relaxed, it goes very slowly. It's obviously a lot of junk that's spawned in that we don't actually want here. And so basically we have this time remaining down the bottom, so the game ends on a timer, and the idea is you just want to collect as much as possible. But you can see that the time is going at, it goes down to a lowest point of 0.5 times, and so the time actually does influence the time remaining as well. So it's not just giving us less time to be able to do it while slowing it down. We're also actually not losing any time, essentially. And so we might just speed it up. And so you can see that you have to have your cursor right on the items or they don't select. So that means as you're controlling the cursor with your hand, you would need to be very accurate. And so you can see it goes up to a max of 1.3 times, where it actually does make it quite challenging to be able to continuously perform selections. And this is where being able to relax and slow down the river would be an ideal thing for maximizing your score. And just a few seconds left. And we scored a total of 8,400, and so we collected 60. We didn't collect any junk, and we missed 11 that went off the screen before we could select them. And so then it would take us back to the end. Thank you for watching this video.